Hello? Hello? Are we good now? Is everything good? Is Death 22, I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glitching and we can't hear you. You should be able to hear me now. Am I still glitching? If I'm still glitching, I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to do the best I can. To get everything set up. I thought everything was supposed to be set up right. For the thing, if I'm still choppy, is I can hear you, but you still shoot. I'm still glitching, but you can hear me. Dang. Okay. Ooh, alright. Thing saying I'm dropping frames left, right, and center. Hold on, let me make this. Is it gonna come back? Get it. Are we back? Are we better? Am I still glitching? Hopefully, Lord knows, I hope I'm not still glitching out. I'm trying to figure out what the world, shoot, what the word is called. Well, dang, it might just have to be. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm still glitching and moving everywhere, and it's stuttering and stuff, honestly, this is a brand new problem. I'm trying to figure out how to fix it. If my voice is coming in good, at least have the voice come in great. If I'm still dropping frames and it's still choppy, we might have to just do it straight up. This is an audio show and not video. Because I'm doing everything I can to try to see if I can get this thing fixed. And hopefully I'm coming in clear. But visually, it might be this. It's a little bit of a, it might be a little bit of a problem. I'm not going to lie, but we gonna try to fix it the best I can. If it gets too bad, let me know. And we can figure, let me see. Hey, so what's up, checking in that server? I'm checking everything I can. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to. We doing. We doing as much of a check on the fly as we can possibly. Wi-Fi's good. Everything's connected. Same provider I've been using the whole time. But why am I dropping frames? Is something taken? Do I need to close something out? Is something taken away from the rest of the stream that's causing it to be very much chopping and skewed? I'm checking everything the best I can at the moment to see if it look if it gets too bad. We'll drop it and we'll try it for another day because we want to give you all the best experience possible, and we'll just do this same topic, same show at a different time. But this everything was good up until I got on, and now all of a sudden it is not it ain't working. It ain't working great. Oh Lord, shoot. I'm genuinely trying to figure this out. What's going on? Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can fix this. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. What in the world could be causing this issue? Cause we moving everything else. Everything's working fine. Download and upload speeds are working properly. Why is it dropping frames? Why in the world is it still dropping frames to this much of a severity? My goodness. This is shoot. Well dang. Okay. I'll post this I'll put a poll. Let's try this. Let's let the people vote. Let's let the people vote. Are y'all? Dude. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on, wait a minute. We about to put a poll. I'm gonna let y'all vote because I'm trying. Look again. I'm doing this because I wasn't able to. I'm not gonna be able to do the shows on Thursday and Friday like we normally do. So I was trying to give y'all something to go and enjoy and appease while y'all are here. To give y'all something, at least 2 shows out the week. But if it's still getting this choppy, I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. We're gonna put out a poll. Spelled wrong, spelled right, we're gonna find out. Let me see. Turn Wi-Fi off and on. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try that. Let me go. Oh, look, we're gonna be right back. I'm gonna go try to turn to handle this stuff. I don't know what's going on. We're gonna fix it real quick. I'm gonna put y'all on hold. Vote in the poll. And when I come back, if it's still choppy, then see if it's going to, something's going down with the bit rate. So I'm trying to figure out exactly why this is going awry, though everything else is working. So we're going to come back real quick, vote in the poll. If this keeps on going up, do y'all want the audio without the video, or just cancel everything altogether and just do straight up, hey, do it when you get it fixed, and then we can come back together. Perfectly fine. But I'm going to put y'all on the, whatchamacallit, what's this thing called? The doggone, we'll be back? Yeah, we're going to put y'all on the screen. It said we'll be back, and we're gonna check it real quick. So give me 1 second, and I'm gonna get everything right here, right now. Jesus. All right. Let's try this again. Hello? Are we good? Are we moving great? Are we fine? Are we back? Please, let me know. I think I got the problem fixed. I closed stuff out. Whatever was in the background, got it off my hardware, made it so. Wi-Fi, turned it off, turned it back on, clicked to a completely different network. We should be good. We should be good. Get thumbs up, thumbs down, yes or no. Are we here? Are we back? Are we okay? Or are we still in some deep trouble right now when it comes to trying to do the show as a whole? We're good. We got one yes. We got one. Hold on. I think we're, hopefully, Lord knows I hope people ain't left, but hopefully, hopefully we got it back together. We got it working. It's looking like we're where we need to be. Everything's moving. Everything's clear. Everything sounds good. All right. I think we're okay. I think I hope. Lord knows I hope that we back. I hope that we back. We back. We back. Okay. All right. We back. Hold on. Let me. Okay. Hold on. Let me put out a blast. Let me put out a quick blast real quick. Let everybody know that we got it fixed. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me. We playing. We doing. Everything's working on a kind of a on the fly. Hold on a minute. Let me tell the people that we back. We should be good to go now. We should be good to go. Okay. Lord, I'm glad we ain't panicking. We gonna move through. We still gonna work like we need to work, but I think yep. I think we should be able to do everything that we need to do now. In. Okay, here we go. Yep. All right. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. Unexpected. My gosh. Problems abounded. Lord knows. We were not trying to have that happen. Shoot. Well, we still gonna rock and we still gonna do what we do. Looks like everything's back up to snuff like it's supposed to be. We got everything working now. So, hey, let's try this one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody all around the world, hello and welcome to another late night edition, crazy enough, late night, afternoon, wherever you may be, of the Watcher. But with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Make some noise, clap it up, get excited wherever you are. We should be back now. We should be working. Everything should be hunky-dory, and we should be on the road to success, tuning in and listening and watching, talking, having fun, doing what we normally do on a daily basis now on Wednesday instead of the normal day, due to the fact we got some stuff that we got to handle over the course of the weekend, so we ain't gonna be able to do the normal shows on Thursday, Friday, and then a big fight on Saturday. But we still gonna make it do what it do right here, and we still gonna make it so that everybody has some fun doing the world of the championship rounds right here on YouTube, right here, right now, for the world to witness. Whatever questions, comments, concerns you want to have and that you may have, you can bring them up right here on the show. The whole show is driven by you, the fans, forever long or however short we may be on the show for the night. We gonna give you at least 2 shows out the week before I gotta go and do my thing, and so I ain't gonna be able to be with y'all later on. So we gonna give y'all the chance to indulge on a late week endeavor on today's midweek fashion right here on Wednesday. So we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you listening. Thank you for holding off on being patient with me during the technical difficulties. I don't know what was going on. Everything was working before I clicked go, and then everything stopped working after I started talking. The audio wasn't working. Everything, the video was choppy. Things went awry, but now we're here and we're back and we're doing what we do best, going in and joining in on the world of boxing and sports as a whole, talking about what you all want the most. Predictions, comments, concerns, debates, everything under the sun revolving the sports landscape. So again, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you listening. if you would, leave a like on the stream. Hey, comment your thoughts and opinions, subscribe to the channel, and share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. Also, be sure to rate us 5 stars on every podcasting platform imaginable, and be sure to hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post right here on YouTube and on every and for whatever else we do with this channel. You're up to date, up to snuff, and you know what's going down on the hottest show in all the globe right here on the interwebs. Yes, indeed. But again, we're back, we're here, we're live, and without further ado, we got boxing to cover, we got sports to delve into, we got your voice to be heard. So again, for however long we go, hour longer than an hour, less than an hour, we got stuff to talk about. So ladies and gentlemen, it is time to step into the ring, and it's time for the championship rounds. Yes, sir. That's right. Let's get it started. Let's get it, buddy. Yeah, buddy. It's time to shine. It's time to work. It's time to make the show. You want to let your voice be heard for the whole of the globe to witness, see, and enjoy. Absolutely. And again, as we're here, whenever you want to talk about and discuss on whatever topics that you have pressing, we can discuss it right here on the show. As you're getting your questions together in this championship round dedicated episode, where the fans drive the entry, we still got some news in the boxing world that we got to cover, like some announcements that are going to be made with the likes of Ryan Garcia. Yes, sir, we have now an official, I don't want to say a threshold, that's the wrong word, but we got it out. We got essentially a fight on the horizon for one King Ryan Garcia in lieu of his loss to Rolly Romero. Now he's gonna face, or looking to face, one champion, and I believe what champion? He's champion at 147 in Mario Barrios. That's right. Oh yes, he's looking to climb up the ladder yet again, move up to 147, and fight the current champion who had a draw with Manny Pacquiao in Mario Barrios. Now, why this is a pressing matter is not necessarily because of the fight itself, because again, he's gunning for it, aiming for it. We want to see him keep on chasing challenges. And again, off the back to Rolly Romero, we want to see, okay, are you going to be able to improve and grow? With Manny Pacquiao, we thought, or rather with Rolly Romero, we thought that there would be a rematch with Ryan Garcia and Rolly for the title, since Rolly, again, beat him in a shocking, dominant fashion. But now we see Rolly's in talks with the likes of Manny Pacquiao, as well as with potentially Gervonta Davis and Manny Pacquiao going to fight each other down the line. If we do see Tank come back and actually fight real competition after his fight with Jake Paul, that fight is on the docket for something that can transpire still throughout his career, and even still further along coming next year when it comes to Manny Pacquiao. He's coming back in the ring. So Rolly Romero is one of those main people. Forget Tank for now. That's more later down the line. Rolly, for this current year, or at least for the early next year, is leaning candidate right now to, yeah, he's going to return to the ring and fight him. So we're going to see what happens there, but regardless of which, with Ryan now going back and potentially fighting Mario Barrios, it's not necessarily the fight that I'm concerned about, more than the questions surrounding Ryan Garcia. Yes, he's had the whole, got everybody under the sun hot, upset, and or talking when it came to Gennady Golovkin. Is he or is he not a Hall of Famer, which he is, and all that stuff. But now the question becomes, with Ryan Garcia at this point in time in his career, though he's still young, I got to start asking, well, what level can he really beat now in the world of boxing? Because it's, I don't want to say it's confusing, but it's interesting due to the fact that we're looking at a career that has toppled some of the biggest names in the sport, like Devin Haney. But again, the asterisk is he was on PEDs. He was on drugs. Is that really the win that is contingent to, or that represents what you really are? You lost the Tank and we thought you would improve. And then when you fought Devin Haney, well, the improvement was, again, clouded in scrutiny, understandably so. Then you fight against Rolly, somebody who should be, and now you go by the wayside. Or you lose in a fashion that we did not expect at all for you to lose. Now, yes, injured, hand injury, I completely understand. But even still, the performance on that night was very much telling. Now you're trying to move up in weight again to fight the likes of Barrios, going from 140 to 147. I commend the enthusiasm to chase legacy. Absolutely. We want that to be the case for everybody in boxing. No question we do. But at the same time, we got to look and say, hey, we got to ask where this brother's talent level really is in some capacity when it's not muddied by PEDs and drugs. What is the real talent level of this brother when it comes to being able to take belts, take titles, and reach the zenith of, I'm not just a big name, but now I'm a full-blown champion, winning it in the ring. I'm getting concerned with the much raw potential that we may see Ryan Garcia have. I don't know if he can elevate to that level. I don't. But I want to hear from you all, just as a thought, as food for thought. But let me see. Love King, how you doing? Good to see you again. Thank you for tuning in. And again, to everybody who's commenting, thank you all for being patient with me. Fight Buzz as well. Thank you for tuning in. Also, we were trying to get stuff done, trying to make sure the stream was right. Stuff was messing up, but now we got it right. So I appreciate you coming through on the stream. Everybody, what's the emergency? Heard notification bell and turn on right away. Gave my life. Oh, look, I appreciate it. Absolutely. Get the emergency is we ain't gonna be doing stuff on Thursday and Friday or the weekend. So we gotta try to get a show in now to put everything that we normally do for the entirety of the week into one episode. So we gonna make it so that hey, Code Red, we're gonna do everything we can today. Cause we ain't gonna be here at the end of the week. So just so y'all know, that's the emergency. But again, we appreciate everybody who tuned in, who's tuning in, and who's helping me out. But let me see, I still want to see King Ryan versus Devin. I do as well. I do. Definitely I do. However, one, that fight being made to happen, the question really comes down to, will he ever get in position to get that fight, even though, yes, it's still hotly contested? You got to understand, right now, Ryan Garcia's stock is in the dirt. It's bad. It's really bad right now from the standpoint of the reputation that he has for a lot of people. Yes, still a big name. Yes, still a star. Yes, everybody still wants to see him. Understandable. Absolutely. But tunes can change at the drop of a hat, especially in regards to if we see Devin Haney beat Brian Norman Jr. and shock the world all of a sudden. Ryan Garcia's looking like, did we ever really want him in the first place? And again, people still hold that scrutiny of the PED use against Devin Haney, against him, as, this brother's a drug cheat and that's all he's ever going to be. This man has robbed the faith of the people, of the public. And he's polarizing. But now, when you lose as a polarizing figure, unless you are, again, a Manny Pacquiao, a Canelo, or of that like that is way, way, way up at the top of the world, reality can hit you real quick. And with that fight, I dare say everything that we saw from Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney when they fought against each other, it could still happen again. It could if they faced off. But now Haney's at a point, or rather Ryan's at a point, he's got to work his way back up to that. And my concern is he going to be able to work his way back up? Is he really? Take for example, we've had grudge matches before. You've had Charlo, Caleb Plant. They were supposed to fight each other. Charlo faced off against, I forget his name, but he won. Plant faced off against Resendez and got beat clean. Even though that fight still is something that is touted as wanting to happen. From a business standpoint, there's a reason why that fight ain't being made right now. Because the buzz has been shaken up. Ain't as fervent as it was when it was getting hyped up on the same card, same time, same day. We win, we're getting it on with each other, and we fighting. The reason is an issue. There's a reason why Wilder versus Anthony Joshua ain't happening. When it was touted, hyped up, getting the ball rolling with anticipation, and next thing you know, Wilder loses to Joseph Parker. While AJ holds up his end of the bargain. Now, People, we still want to see the rematch, but at the same time, it ain't nearly as investing. It ain't as enthralled. It isn't as lucrative as it would have before if both people had done what they're supposed to do. Now with Ryan losing to Rolly, both of them not doing what they're supposed to do, or rather, Ryan Garcia not doing what he was supposed to do, and winning and beating Rolly. All of a sudden, the stigma or the hype around that fight, it's still there, but from a business perspective, it might not be well pressed to make that fight as quickly as possible. Unless he goes and he wins. Now, him beating Barrios could work. Could get that momentum back up. Absolutely. Also, Mike Huncho, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. Like I said, we're emergency stream because we ain't going to be here Thursday, Friday, Saturday like we wanted to do for the 3 week thing. I already told you I wasn't going to be able to do it on Saturday to stream Boots Ennis versus Lima. Now, new stuff came to light. I ain't going to be able to do it on Thursday either or on Friday. I got stuff I got to handle. So because of that, got to do what I got to do. So, which is why we are where we are, and we're doing what we're doing. But that's why we do it in emergency pop-up stream now. Though it's late in the day, doing the whole championship rounds like we would do end of the week. To let y'all get it, whatever y'all want off at me, so we can make sure we have a great show and do the best that we can do to at least give you 2 shows out the week. At least give you that, because that's what y'all deserve. So, that's why why we're doing what we're doing right now. But all this boils down to, in terms of a question, how good is Ryan Garcia? And how far can his talent take him now with this next stage in his career? Because he went on Showbiz The Adult. He was able to go through and do a whole interview with him. Everybody's taking clips and sound bites from that interview. It's great. It's cool. It's phenomenal. No question about it. But he said himself, he ain't got no shot at the Hall of Fame unless he really pushes himself for legacy, which we love to hear. But now I got to ask from a talent perspective, well, can he achieve that legacy against the people that he would need to beat? Because he does face off against everybody. But there's also a question of, you do also got to win. And at this point in time right now, he either hasn't won, or when he has won, it's been muddied with controversy. Like with the PED situation. Mike Huncho, thoughts on Ryan's comments on Triple G. We did discuss that Tuesday. Crazy enough, we discussed that on Tuesday. We actually talked about that yesterday. And I think he's wrong. He should be a Hall of Famer. He absolutely should be a Hall of Fame. And the fact that he thinks that he's not, he's right in his sentiment that the boxing Hall of Fame and Hall of Fame as a whole should be stricter. However, for Gennady Golovkin, he fits that bill regardless of how strict it would be. Ryan, his mindset is right for everybody shouldn't make it in. But the application is wrong for saying he shouldn't make it in. At least for me, my opinion. But even still, we discussed that on the last show yesterday. Crazy enough, if you want to go and look at it and view it. But let me see. Also, Barrios is also, I think, the weakest champion in boxing. You're right. From a standpoint of threat level, again, he's one of the weaker champs at 147. He's just the truth. Now, he's still 6'1", still got a 70+ inch reach, still can do some real damage against you. Especially that fight with Manny Pacquiao made it so that people see Barrios as a real beatable threat. Understandable. Testament to Pacquiao's ability, but also a concern from Barrios' ability. But at the same time, even with the likes of Ryan Garcia against Barrios, I gotta ask, can he beat him? And even if you say yes to that, the further question is, how far can Ryan Garcia's talent take him? Now, at this stage in his career, when we've seen all the issues that Rolly gave him, that should not have been an issue. That should not have been a problem. So it's a concern. But let me see. El Guapo, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. So glad you're here with us on today. I want to see Boo Boo Andre beating fighters at 168. Nobody wants him. Nobody wants to fight him. Or what? What more so? He hasn't been existent. Let's be real. He hasn't been anywhere. Or rather, he hasn't been vocally doing anything. From what I've been able to track, outside of when Crawford beat Canelo, all of a sudden he's saying, hey, where's my shot? Give me my shot. Give me a shot at the title, bud. You want to show that you great? Come fight me. Come beat me. And all that stuff. But again, the last time I heard about Boo Boo Andre, he had fought and lost to David Benavidez. And nothing else afterwards. So I don't know where is he at? Back to his dormant shell. Unless he wants to go back in the ring and fight somebody. And get his name back into the contention. Consistency is key when it comes to trying to get a championship opportunity. He ain't been consistent when it comes to getting in the ring. But let me keep on reading. What you got to say? Ryan is not. Also, Jerry, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. Ryan is not that talented. He has a quick, powerful left hook, and that's about it. And that is the biggest concern now. The very thing that we were saying worked against Devin Haney. If you're bigger, physically matching him, you can do what you need to do to beat him. That's why I'm concerned with Haney versus Brian Norman. But at the same time, when we're looking at Ryan Garcia, we just saw those same physical attributes get outboxed by our brother that should not have been able to outbox him, even with a hand injury. Even with the hand injury. Just for the sake of the outright ability of Ryan Garcia. Now, yes, Rolly is a powerful threat from the standpoint of physicality. Yes, he is a dangerous person to knock you out because he knocked Ryan Garcia down, had him rethinking everything. But then, I've said this with the boxers, I'm saying it with Ryan Garcia as well. Once you got to a point where you got to change, you couldn't change. Once you got to a point where you had to actually mold and do something else, morph yourself into a different framework of gameplay, you couldn't do it. He was gunshot. He couldn't even use his jab effectively, his straight right hand effectively. All that length amounted to nothing. And he was relegated to just boxing with this. And even with that, it wasn't effective. My issue is now that talks with Ryan Garcia are amping up again. In terms of he's going to make a move. He's going after a belt. He's looking to face off against people. Yes, he's achieving legacy. He's moving like we would want to see. Or he's attempting to move to achieve legacy. And he's moving in a way that, again, we don't see a lot of boxers move like, or at least we didn't see them in the past. Now we got more and more, we're getting an abundance of people trying to actually make some stuff work, make some stuff shake, which is great. And Ryan, we've never questioned his willingness to get in the ring and do something with somebody. But what we are questioning now is, at some point in time, skill got to come over heart. At some point in time, we got to see some fruits of some edifying nature. Have you being able to go and beat some of these people? Rather than just you are a raw talent that is, we think you can do a lot, but you ain't done a lot. And I will even give the caveat. He's had issues in the past, not just mentally, physically, against Tank Davis, weight drained, and was injured going into that fight. Understand. Now when it comes to the world of volley, hand injury, understandable. But still, at some point in time, and I don't say this to be spiteful and or ignorant of the fact of life when it comes to training and working out in the sport of boxing. At some point in time, you got to be able to work through and get the job done, even when you ain't at 100%. Even Terrence Crawford admitted to Andre Ward in his interview. Yo, I wasn't at 100% when I fought Canelo. Them shoulder injuries, Well, I had a bunch of stuff going on coming into camp, or rather, while I was getting ready in camp, going into this fight. He admitted it. Those things, he faked it incredibly well, but he was going through some stuff. He said it himself. And he still got the job done. Now, I'm not saying that, again, it doesn't affect that it's going to hinder your ability. It will. But also, greats are able to overcome those types of obstacles. And Ryan Garcia has still the potential, but the issue is the potential is all we've been talking about with Ryan Garcia for a long time. For a long time. And I don't like that. I don't like that for a brother who's supposed to be one of the more marquee faces in the sport, who still sells like he sells. I don't like it. It's just the potential is the only thing that's being able to make him so tantalizing to the public. Because I want to see him succeed. That hand speed and that physical nature can be something incredible. But the brother hasn't grown as a fighter, even in the fight with Devin Haney. He did the same stuff that he always does. I was saying that same stuff is going to work against Devin Haney because that is that one fighter's kryptonite. But that ain't everybody's kryptonite. You just being physically better than them. That's not everybody. As we now see with Rolly Romero. There's got to be a level of evolution. Because let's say hypothetically we see Devin Haney and Brian Norman fight, and all of a sudden, it could even be in a loss, and Brian Norman changes his vein as a fighter. Not Brian Norman, I'm sorry. Devin Haney elevates himself as a fighter. Turns into something that we've never seen from him before. All of a sudden, that's a new gear. He's gotten better. He's improved. And this Ryan Garcia might not be able to be that version if we see a new version of Devin Haney come through. Hypothetically. And again, all these are hypotheticals, I understand. But the concrete thing, when talking about Ryan Garcia, even with everything taken into account that we discussed in the past, the main question throughout all of this stuff, throughout the mental breakdowns, throughout the racist stuff, throughout the losses, throughout the injuries, throughout the pressing to be great and all that, with everything good and bad still taken into account, you put that in the melting pot, guess what? One thing still rises to the top. Where is the growth of Ryan Garcia as a fighter? And right now, hate to say it, but there ain't much. There ain't much. And for somebody who's so young that is supposed to be and can be going so far in the sport, there ain't much there of he's taking the step in the right direction that we need to see. And that's what I'm a little bit concerned about, at least for me. That's what I'm concerned about for me. But let me keep on reading what you all have to say. Because again, this is you all's show. I completely you all's show. Let's see. How Ryan is the Wilder of the lower weight classes. And it's there's somewhat of a comparison. Now, he's not nearly as egregious. He does have a lot more weapons to him that he can actively use. He is a better technical fighter than Deontay Wilder. We can say that definitively. I can say that definitively. Thankfully. Good gosh, if Ryan Garcia was as inept technically as Deontay Wilder, we'd be in the worst state that he is in right now. But there's still some stagnation. A lot of stagnation I don't like from this brother. To understand from what I've seen from him as he's growing as a fighter. Let me keep on reading. Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. They both gave Tank some problems. Again, we talked about this yesterday. You might have been here and you might not have been here. I'm excited for it. Yesterday I was saying that Isak might give Lamont some real trouble and some real animosity. Especially since, unlike with Tank, you're not going to be able to grow into the fight while he methodically wades his way through the waters of rounds. And then all of a sudden, okay, now it's time to switch it on and do the gameplay. Isaac Cruz is going to be straight up from the get up. Round one, guess what? I'm fighting you like you hurt. I'm fighting you like you ready to go. I'm fighting you like you getting ready to get out of here. And because of that,
Hey, look at this.
he puts people in this type of switch. You feel like you're on the back burner. And hope can get dangerous real quick. It can get dangerous really quick. Really quick. Really quick and really in a bad way. And so this is a match it's a match that normally people are saying Lamont is going to be able to outbox Isaac Cruz. Absolutely. That is an entire reality that can happen. But I don't think he's going to outbox him moving around. If he does outbox him, it's going to be in the pocket. Because Lamont ain't really that much of a mover from the standpoint of fleet-footed footwork. He ain't got bad feet. But they ain't quick and in a hurry type feet. They ain't Shakur. They ain't Sandor Martin. They ain't Teofimo Lopez. They ain't that. But it ain't bad feet that he can use. But his feet allow him to be in the pocket and be able to from that mid-range and close-range area, go toe-to-toe with anybody and box underratedly in those close quarters, even when he has an advantage in height and in reach. And against Isaac Cruz, that can definitely happen. It's going to be a real war. It's going to be a war of attrition on the side of Lamont because he's going to get pushed to the brink. He's going to get pushed against Isaac Cruz. And for Isaac Cruz, it's going to be a time where, hey, brother, you have been a champion. You've been in the ring with some of the best in the world and given them the toughest times possible. You have insane punching ability. And even as you being a one-dimensional fighter, you're still so hard to beat. But even with all that being said, Lamont Welch is going to be a signal for Isaac Cruz. You got a chance to take the step. You got a chance to really take the step if you beat this cat. You took a step when you gave Tank a great fight. You took another step when you knocked out Rolly Romero. You had a fight of the year contender with Fierro on the undercard of Benavidez versus Morel. Now going up against Lamont, you beat Lamont. You take all that momentum, all of it, and you put it firmly in your grasp. Now at 140, you become one of the names, not just a name, though you are still a known name. Elevate yourself incredibly. Put yourself in a position to get talked about again as, hey, give this man his rematch with Tank. You will be on the minds of a lot of people if you do this. But if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. And you better start implementing some head movement, excuse me. You better implement some head movement. If you can implement head movement in this fight, we were saying this as a pipe dream. You use head movement against Lamont Welch to actually be able to slip some of those shots as you're coming in to apply that pressure instead of just straight up shelling up and walking forward. Brother, you turn into a nightmare that I dare say Lamont might not even want to deal with. I'm serious. The one thing and the one issue with Isaac Cruz is he's so one-dimensional. Though even that one dimension has caught, hurt, and or knocked down nearly everybody that he has ever faced off against, it's still beatable. It's still able to be outboxed. Because if you are able to step away outside of just straight up trading with Isaac Cruz, you can be able to land on him and get out of dodge without having to worry about counters coming at you to a certain degree. But if he can actually start moving his head, a little bit of implementing that peekaboo style, he's already in the form. He's already got the offense for it, but already built like a man that should use it. You do that, you could turn this fight into a real dangerous affair for your opponent. I just don't know if he will though. But it's gonna be great. And it's gonna be the thing that validates Lamont Roach or not. Either he's going to be seen as, yep, you're worth the time. Yeah, you are what we think you are. Or you're a one-hitter-quitter type situation. You went through. You won. You had a phenomenal performance against a great fighter. And then you can never do it again. A Buster Douglas type of sentiment. You came up. You shocked the world. And then when you faced off against somebody else who was on their game, you got put down to 3. If we're going the route of Buster Douglas. And you never reach that type again. And you never get to that level again. And you were never that good of a fighter again. Then they can dilute the rematch by a lot. This is a very dangerous fight for Lamont Roach. Which is why I commend him for taking it. Very dangerous fight for Lamont Roach. Because with Lamont fighting somebody who's been a world champion, I believe in multiple weight classes, or at least at 140. At least minimum at 140. Higher weight class than he ever should belong in. Gave old buddy one of the toughest tests in his career in Tank. We're going to see if you actually about it. I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I can't wait. Because, man, if Lamont can pull this off, it's going to be it's going to be insanely good. It's going to be insanely good. And he'll make my marquee start at 140. So you wait. I can't wait. It's boy, the storylines going into this fight are absolutely incredible. Absolutely phenomenal. Just the best of every world is this fight. Fight that makes sense. It's a fight that has stakes. It's a fight that's marketable. It's a fight that's going to sell. It's a fight that's going to be entertaining. And it's a fight to move somebody up or down the ladder when they should be having this test be put in front of them. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's really good. It's exciting. It's definitely exciting. Also, real quick, as we're still going through and continuing talking through, it's still the championship rounds. You all still drive the conversation for the show. No question about it. But at the same time, while you're getting your questions together, we also got to talk about the monster, or the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need to talk about David Benavidez real quick. While we got everybody here on, like I said, we got a breeze through. We got a lot to cover. Because I'm going to be able to be on Thursday and Friday. And so ask your questions, get your comments, but we gonna try to cram as much as we can into this episode. When it comes to David Benavidez, we've now gotten a little bit of a timeline from the man himself when it comes to what he's going to do for his career as it pertains to 175, cruiserweight, and heavyweight. Oh yeah, it's very interesting. And as I'm teasing, well, actually, as we're trying to pull up the clip and or soundbite, I'll just tell it to you right now to paraphrase, make it a little bit quicker. Apparently, David Benavidez got 15 years left in his career, per his own words. Now, this is in light of, again, we've heard Noy Inoue say he's only got 2. Tank say he's only got 1. Canelo say he only got a couple years left. Crawford, we don't know how long he's got left in the career of his dominant tenure at the top of boxing, especially right now. Usyk getting ready to get out of here. Tyson Fury has retired 6 or 7 times. Just got confirmed, at least by Eddie Hearn, or is it Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren? One of the two. He's been in talks that he's going to be coming back. So, hey, the Gypsy King's about to return to the ring come next year to fight against, potentially potentially Moses Italian, Usyk, Tyson Fury finally. Who knows? We just know he's on his way back. But regardless of which, we've talked about the tenure of boxing going down for this era from the standpoint of time is winding up for a lot of the greats that we've seen grow and flourish and reach the zenith of their career. Benavidez is incredibly young and is looking to still shine and develop and grow and be a dominant force. And if this 15-year plan is real, he says he's going to spend 5 years at light heavyweight, 5 years at cruiserweight, and then 5 years at heavyweight to end off his tenure. Or maybe a little bit less than 5 years at heavyweight. But regardless of which, somewhere around that time, it's going to be 15 years collectively. With that being the case, we got to ask ourselves the question, which is honestly, we've been teasing it for a hot minute. For the sense of, with all this talk about David Benavidez, all this talk about Bebo, all this talk about Artur Beterbiev, him being one of the 3 best light heavyweights in the world, us potentially saying that cruiserweight is a step too high. But if he's planning on doing it, we gotta ask, yo, do we think he can really get there? Do we not just get there? Understand, this ain't just a regular type of goal that he's trying to go and achieve. If he's trying to keep the same type of sentiment that he has at light heavyweight, where I'm gonna be undisputed here, guess what? I'm gonna try to be undisputed cruiserweight. Apatow, Badu, Jack, Zerto. Shoot. Who's the other brother? There's another one. There's another one. There's another cat at cruiserweight. I'm forgetting his name, but I know he's there. It eludes me at the moment. But anybody else who's a champion there, take him out. Rank. And then we go to heavyweight. Now, cruiserweight, I think it's a step too far. But if he can achieve it, okay, go for it. No problem. Love to see if this worked out for him. My issue is full stop heavyweight. Not because I don't think Benavidez would have the talent. Because if Benavidez moved up to heavyweight right now, outside of Usyk, and outside of the caliber of talent, that is Moses' talent. Even compared to the likes of Tyson Fury, from a boxing perspective, from a tools in his tool belt perspective, he'd probably be one of the 5 best heavyweights in the world from the standpoint of what he brings to the table. From defense to his jab, to his gauging of distance management, punch selection, punch output, volume, stamina, manipulative guards that they can implement on the fly, can press the issue later on in the fight. Yeah, would he be dangerous? He could get knocked out? Sure. But you couldn't say he wouldn't be one of the most skilled if he got up there. But if Usyk is not there, you're still dealing with the likes of talent, potentially an older Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, who still is incredibly young and can have a whole nother comeback tour like he had when he first got to fight against Usyk, when he got knocked out, like he did when he got back to fight Usyk for the second time. That revenge tour had him looking mighty scared. And shoot, hypothetically, if Tyson Fury keeps on going in and out of Dodge from the standpoint of Willy Woney type of situation, he could be in the mix as well. I don't know if he has the ability to be as competitive as he can be and as he currently is at light heavyweight and would be at cruiserweight once he does indeed commit to move up, which by his own volition has been upwards of in 2 or 3 years. Especially after Undisputed, he's going up there if he can achieve it. So I don't know if he can do it. And it's crazy to say because I see that if he did go up there, he would be able to be successful. He would be able to, even if you put him against AJ Caballero, he could give Caballero a whole bunch of trouble. More volume and a whole bunch more speed, as well as, unlike with Big Bang Jang, which Caballero looked the best he ever looked in his career against, he ain't going to be a plodding, flat-footed, stamina problem-driven fighter. And I love Jang, but all this is true about him. Which could be why we are actually overhyping the likes of Caballero when it comes to fighting against the Usyks, the Talmas, even against the likes of Anthony Joshua, hypothetically, if he does fight him down the line. Not because he doesn't have skills, but because there's a concern that what you look good against ain't what's going to be holding the belt. And that level of talent might be something that you ain't at yet, though you are indeed showing some good signs. And again, I don't like putting Big Bang Jang in this type of situation, but if I don't know if he's going to look like that against others in the heavyweight world. I don't think Caballero would look like that against Justice Huni. And we saw what Justice Huni just did to Fabio Wardley. Fabio Wardley is seen as right now is a mandatory for the undisputed heavyweight title. And he got outboxed by Justice Huni for 9 rounds up until he got a one-punch Hail Mary type of KO out of nowhere. I don't know if Caballero beats that in terms of Huni. I don't know if it beats Anthony Joshua, even though Joshua looks beatable. Absolutely. Even though would you favor Caballero against him? Yeah. Would I know for a fact that he could beat him? I'm not sure. Joseph Parker against Caballero? Don't know. Because Parker is firmly in that mix. Should have already gotten a title shot today. Today. It feels like he's being pushed out. Crazy enough. Even though he did everything right to get his shot at the belts in the first place. It's crazy. But it's the truth of how it feels. But all of them right now, and other names I ain't even brought up, he got to deal with that. We're talking about Caballero against other people. We're talking about David Benavidez. If he does move up to the likes of heavyweight, he's got to deal with the likes of potentially Martin McCauley. Oh my gosh. Is McCauley beatable? Absolutely. But why do you think? But the way he beat Jared Anderson, same thing could happen strictly because of that size and height difference and weight difference. Benavidez, excuse me, Benavidez is big for the division. Sure. No issue there. At the same time, after a certain point, he gets to turn into average and or below average for the division. Especially if he gets up to the latter half of cruiserweight and heavyweight. That's where I'm concerned with. So I'm thinking, hey, this accomplishment could indeed be incredible. And Benavidez has the skills. And if he keeps on improving, will retain and even further master the skills to make those weight classes attainable. But man, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be a tough time. It's going to be a tough time if that's what your horizon is. Especially looking at the next era of heavyweight that's coming down the line. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Because you're going to be in it with them. You're going to be in it with the young cats that have taken over the heavyweight division. That are looking, unlike with this division, or unlike with the current state of the heavyweight division, more well-rounded than we've seen in past eras. Yes, Usyk still reigns supreme overall, and would still, even if he fought into the older eras. Even if he fought older as a fighter into the next era of boxing. But he's an anomaly. He's an outlier. Tyson Fury is an outlier. Everybody else ain't on that same level. At least in the current stint. But going forward, we're seeing the youth start to change and shift. Have dimensions to their game. Have new elements that we didn't see from other heavyweights in the past. Be more than just big as the only thing that makes them good. And dealing with that, with Benavidez going into what looks to be a very promising next era of heavyweight fighters. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting if he doesn't need to achieve this type of goal. I'll be excited for it, but man, we're going to have to wait and see. Definitely going to have to wait and see. Because talk about some crazy stuff. And one last thing on Dave Benavidez. You have to look at the why, not just the what of what he's doing. And again, as I'm trying to pull up the strength, as we're trying to pull up the as I'm trying to pull up the clip, you got to understand, Benavidez said the why he is doing this as a whole. Why he's trying to be this great. Why he's trying to chase this standard. It's because of what he saw Terrence Crawford do. He saw Terrence Crawford be great. do something ridiculous, go through and achieve the impossible. Seemingly with the, not even seemingly, he achieved the impossible with the greatest of ease. In a manner that everybody thought was not just unexpected, should not have been able to be that easy. Let's be clear. It shouldn't have been that easy. Yet still, it was. He wants to follow in those footsteps. He wants to follow. He said he wants to follow that type of moniker. He's saying he sees himself as, if I want to be as great as him, I got to follow that same road, which is a perfect indicator of the shift in mindset in boxing that we talked about before on the show multiple times. But now you're getting the biggest stars committing to it. When Floyd Mayweather was fighting, what happened? Everybody followed what he did. And the model of business over legacy took over the sport. It's just the truth. Doesn't mean that Floyd ain't great, but it also does mean that there was a price to pay for how he got great and how his ideology turned into the main catalyst for everybody else's stardom when it came to how they based their foundation as a legacy fighter. Their legacy was built in the money, was built in the cheddar, was built in the dollar signs instead of the fight itself, because Floyd went about that in his career when he became Money Mayweather. Mind you, he made Pretty Boy Floyd obsolete, because without Pretty Boy Floyd, there would never be a Money Mayweather. He did the work to get to the bag, but once he got to the bag, he never stopped getting to the bag. He prioritized the bag and made it so that he showed fighters, hey, you don't got to do what Pretty Boy did. You don't got to do what I did when I was younger. If you know how to work business like I know how to work business. And it led to what we see with the sport going on right now. But with Crawford, with this win, now it's undeniable. Everybody's trying to do what he did. Everybody's trying to follow what he followed. Shakur is going to try to do the same stuff that Crawford did. You know why? Because just like with Floyd and Tank, when Tank was Floyd's right-hand mentor or mentoree, what's the correct term? Underling, grasshopper. For when we want to go to Sensei route. With Tank being Mayweather's grasshopper, he sponged up, soaked up everything that he was taught and that he watched, both in the gym and in the ring, of how to move when it comes to boxing. Shakur's taking that same sponge-like mentality up against Terrence Crawford. And it's why you see him be willing to fight Teofimo Lopez at 147 from the jump without ever being up there. And then most likely you'll see him want to still fight Abdullah Mason and everybody else at 135. You'll see it. And excuse me, Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur will be at 140, not at 140, at 147, at 140. My apologies. But even still, the point still stands. You're seeing them move like that. Abdullah Mason getting the championship early in his career. Working good to separate himself from the pack. You have, in a way, though he's been doing this, just like with Crawford, he's been moving like you need to move. He's been an example that everybody's looking and saying, hey man, this cat's something different. We're getting an identity of legacy that is not sullied, that isn't muddied. It's not stained by the identity of Floyd's career. Now that sounds very volatile, but when I say it's not stained, the aftermaths of what it took to get that level of greatness was negative. Because the road that Floyd took, and we talked about it before, wasn't done in a manner that set a quality precedent to keep the sport, to put the sport in a better way than he left it. It's just the truth. He got people to get more money than ever. He's gotten people and fighters to be able to understand the value not just of a dollar, but the value of business, negotiations, marketing, being able to turn yourself into a star. All of that is great, but the caveat is all that's now being done without the work that he had to do in the first place. And that can't be negotiated. But it was for a number of years. Now, that's not happening anymore. Thank gosh. Because Crawford did what he did. And because now people like Inoue are getting brought into light. Usyk has everybody in awe. Young cats are working like they should. Old cats are working like they should. Devin Haney's taking tests, and he's always taking tests. Ryan Garcia is challenging himself, trying to be great, admitting, hey, if there's a Hall of Fame I want to get to, I'm not in it right now unless I go and move some furniture. And all of this identity, all of these questions surrounding the whole of the sport with all of its players are now revolving around the actions of one man, or rather in this case, three people. One man making the biggest impact with Terrence Crawford right now, but it is what's the term? It is redefining the surface of the water that everybody is looking into to say, how can I get a drink? It's redefining the reflection that's in the mirror for what boxers see themselves as when it comes to asking themselves, how great do I want to be? He's making that standard, and it's the best thing in the world. And it's incredible. Benavidez has been doing this for years. But now the very thing that makes him go even harder to try to accomplish these legacy goals is now the man who did a cultural reset on the world of boxing as we know it. From the standpoint of what does the sport mean to you? And now everybody's changing for the better. Thankfully, which is an incredible thing. But like I said, it's still the championship rounds. We're still going through and playing and having your conversations be seen and heard for the world to be able to witness and enjoy. We are still going through and want to hear from what you got to say on the matter of honestly whatever you want to discuss. And also, real quick, we also got some more insight from the likes of, we got more fights coming up like with November 22nd. Brian Norman versus Devin Haney. We now have further implications from Floyd Schofield and his dad on how exactly that fight is going to go and why Brian Norman would win. But let me get it on the old picture right now to let you all be able to see it and enjoy. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Wait a minute. There we go. All right, yeah, let's play it for you right here, right now.
And Devin.
You think so?
I know so.
I think Devin gonna run.
Of course he gonna run. he better not stand
I
there.
think Devin gonna run. Devin gonna box smart. I think he's smart enough not to exchange because his chin isn't to stand there and exchange with Brian Norman. I mean, come on.
We grew up with B Norman.
That's why I said his
way
chin
harder than
isn't
Ryan Garcia.
strong to stand toe to toe. But I think Devin could box him. I think Devin gonna box all night.
Oh yeah, I feel like Devin could possibly outbox him, but I feel like Brian is coming out victorious in that fight.
You really do?
If Brian is like able to get to him, yeah. But if he lets Devin have his way, I feel like could pick him off with his reach and whatnot.
We'll
but
see.
He's just 12-round fight.
Do you got any fights you gonna ask about where there might be some blood in one of the fights? Like somebody
I think that fight going. Brian gonna crack Devin in that big nose.
Man, these brothers not in there trying to kill nobody in there. They're in there playing tennis. You hit me, I hit you. Sorry, go ahead. Y'all go ahead. We just ran.
No. I feel like Brian and Kid Austin are kind of in that similar realm that you guys are both kind of on the come up, just in boxing, knock out guys and can fight, can box.
Yeah. He said it's the dads. I think that's what it is. The dads on their ass. pushing him. And we know the Normans. Like Floyd did his amateur career in Georgia right along with them. Like to the point that I told Floyd to go in there and spar him. Floyd like, Dad, he's 14, I'm 9. You know, type thing like
I
that.
was
So,
like, what the hell?
you know, yeah. So we know them like that. So I don't think Devin want to stand toe-to-toe in exchange with this guy.
Now, again, that's more so. They got a known connection. Understandable. Clip was actually longer than I thought. Didn't think it was going to be a minute long. I thought it was only like 30 seconds. But regardless of which, you see, they're now doubling down saying that he's going to knock him out. They've seen him. They're saying no one knew the power. Now, the reason why I play that is not just because I'm trying to just get some random content going. No. This was off the backs of what I had heard from the likes of Bill Haney now, saying, essentially telling Brian Norman to his face, hey, Brian Norman Sr. telling him to his face, hey, this is what I'm going to. Also, wait a minute. Oh my gosh.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here. We got some problems here.
I'm so sorry. I had the video playing, and y'all couldn't see a doggone thing with my reactions because I didn't switch the camera prop. Dang it. Okay, let me not make that mistake again. But you heard the sound bite. You heard the clip. Now, this was off the backs of, this was off the backs, not off the backs, excuse me. This was in contention with a clip I had seen with Bill Haney in regards to how he had told Brian Norman himself, hey, this is how I'm going to go and fight you. Let me see if I can pull it up right here for you all to actually see this time rather than just going through and not do. Here we go. Let this be the right clip, please. Okay, we're switched over. Okay, there we go. This time we got it right. Okay.
You don't make the fight. We didn't make the fight. It's turkey, right? So there ain't nothing to talk about, right? I come on here. I talk about the game plan that Devin is going to tattoo the fuck out your son's face. We're going to start with that motherfucking stick and show him that you got to have a motherfucking stick in this motherfucking business. You see what I'm saying? He going to press him. You know what I mean? You going to see that motherfucking Brian Norman going backwards. You dig what I'm saying? Because you thinking that he just gonna come forward and press. So I'm talking to you. Now, why aren't you talking back? You don't make the fight. We did.
So, again, excuse me for the language. So sorry. I apologize. Viewer discretion is advised, as we always say. But nonetheless, all of a sudden now you hearing, and this I believe on the Boxing Voice, he came on, I think sometime this week. It was either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. One of the 3 days today. Or between then and today. But still, now you got Brian Norman and Bill Haney telling Brian Norman, hey, we're going to jab you with the stick or the jab. We're going to tattoo you up and touch you up, be able to catch you whenever we want to. And then we're going to walk you down. We're going to press you. We're going to come at you. We're going to try to actually walk through you. We're going to put you on the back foot. That is something that could either be two things. Either as a ploy, a trick, outright, that's just to get you off your game, make you think something else is coming, or maybe now there's a hypothetical situation that Bill might be telling the truth. Now, would it be smart? No, absolutely not. No way in the world. It would be terrible, horrible in the worst way. However, the reason why it's intriguing, because remember, one of the conversations that we had prior to this week, was the inability of the likes of Bill Haney, with the game plan that he made for Devin Haney against Jose Ramirez, the inability to trust his son and his abilities. Going through and they said, I fought him this way because we didn't want to get clowned. We didn't want to get knocked out. We just wanted to play it as safe as can be. Get through the night so we can get through to the bag and get through to the big fight with Ryan Garcia, not risk anything. And Bill Haney went ahead and said he made the game plan himself to make it so that he wouldn't do any risk. In part, I feel that hurt Devin Haney. In part, I feel that made Devin Haney further double down on some of the insecurities that he's had about not just getting popped with power, but about the left hook in particular, and dealing with anybody that can actually crack. It's hurt the mentality of Devin Haney to fight in the best way that we know he can. I genuinely feel that's what the effects of that game plan has done. Where it's just a psychological affair of what happened with Ryan Garcia. But off the backs of that still, we also have to say, hey, even with everything being understood, if Bill Haney is making it so that he's telling Devin Haney and teaching him, we're going to not just box with his brother. We're going to be everything that I know you can be and more. And we're going to do the most unorthodox thing possible and turn our biggest weakness into a strength. I'm not saying they're going to commit to it fully, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tried it. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And it's necessary. Not because, again, I'm saying that the game plan is a smart game plan. Yeah, fight Brian Norman on the inside. But I'm saying we need to have some level of inkling that Devin Haney trusts his chin, his boxing ability, and himself in the way that he used to before. When he had to dig deep and fight against Lomachenko, guess what? He did. When he had to go through and fight, was it Jojo Diaz? What was it Jojo Diaz? Was it Jojo Diaz? No, I'm sorry. Jorge Linares. We had to go in and he got rocked and almost knocked out by Jorge Linares. What happened? He came out and he went and did everything that we knew he could do. When he was faced with bigger obstacles, even in that Ryan Garcia fight, guess what? He did dig deep and attempt to pull something out and try anything, even if it was getting on the inside, to fight the brother. In this last fight, that same inkling of fiery fervor to go to a new place and do something, and the outright trust in whatever I got to go to adapt to, I'm going to be able to do it. Seems lost, at least with Devin Haney right now. But if Bill Haney's talking like this, yes, it could be a ploy, absolutely. But at the same time, it could also be viable. They might actually be crazy enough to actually think they can do this. And if they do go about that way, guess what? That could be the very thing, though he shouldn't do it often. That could be the very thing just to give Devin Haney the confidence to say, hey, yeah, I'm still Devin Haney. I was one of the pound-for-pound best in the world. I have been, and still am, one of the better technical boxers in all of boxing. And when Devin Haney is able to think like that, then you get the best that you get out of him. Then you get world-class fighter. Then you get all, world-class technician. Then you get a Devin Haney that truly can box with the best of anybody. Because right now we don't think that version of Devin Haney exists. At least in the mind of Devin Haney. In his own chamber of thought. That Devin Haney that was undisputed. I was going to Australia. I was going to fight anybody, anywhere, any place. Ain't there. Yeah, the fire of I still want to fight everybody is there. Because he's been in talks with fighting with Teofimo Lopez, potentially Devin Haney, going rematch with Ryan Garcia. Now with, again, Brian Norman, the baddest brother at 175, at 147 right now. At least that's what it's looking like. The fire's still there, but in the ring, still completely different. As we can see. But if this is what he's trying to instill, hey, nah. We ain't just talking just to talking. We actually going to try to work you in a way that you don't expect us to. Though it could be just hyperbole. Yeah, absolutely. Could just be talking. Because Bill Haney just loves to talk. I'm going to keep my eye out. I'm going to keep my eye out. Because it wasn't in my mind he was even going to try to go anywhere close to the inside with Brian Norman. But now that Bill Haney's talking like he's talking, I at least got to take that theory with some level of, hey, might be some weight to it. Might not be much. Might be some weight. And the only way he's going to be able to fight like that against Brian Norman is if he truly believes that, yeah, he's back to his old self when it comes to Devin Haney. And the confidence is reinstilled back in the minds of Devin Haney. And if that does happen, okay, we got ourselves a good fight. But if it doesn't, again, same thing that we see right now. He's gonna get knocked out and put to sleep. Absolutely. But let me see. Deborah, how you doing? Also, I think I believe this is Justin. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. So glad you're with us on today. Again, you're on late today. I am. You know why? Because I'm not gonna be here on Thursday or Friday or Saturday, because I got some stuff I gotta handle, business to take care of, so I ain't gonna be able to do no shows for the rest of the week. So I'm trying to give y'all the best show possible midweek. And again, I just found this out, so I just got news of this. So we trying to scramble and do everything now. That's why we had bit rates and stuff going right. Everything was choppy when we initially got on. Everything was going to be out of whack initially, but now we working fine. We working good. We working great. Everything's all hunky-dory now, and we're going to work like we need to work. But again, we're going to go the same time, because like I said, I got to get out of here in a little bit, and I got some stuff I got to handle. So we going to try to do everything we can for this show in less than 2 hours. And then we're going to be back next week, covering the world of boxing and beyond like we always do. Talking about the Boots fight. Talking about whatever comes down the pipe when it comes to the world of updates with Manny Pacquiao, with further fights with Noy Inoue, all that stuff. We're going to discuss it right here on the show. No question, come next week. But right now, championship rounds, whatever y'all want to discuss, we can discuss it. So hey, one more time, whatever y'all got to say, put it in the chat down below and give us your thoughts and opinions. Let's hear your voices. Let's hear your thoughts. Let's hear what you have to say on the matter of today or of tonight's show. I don't want to hold y'all long, because I understand everybody's got things to do. Everybody's got stuff to say. Everybody's got things that they need to propagate. So I want to hear from you all what you got to say on the matter. Also, while you're getting your questions together on whatever you want to say, real quick, we can also discuss Boots and Skin. That fight is happening on Saturday. Yes, it is happening on Saturday, fighting against Lima. Now, what I did want to discuss, not just the fight, but also Boots himself. More specifically, the confidence in Boots. We've been seeing some stuff over social media that he might be getting a little bit cocky. Getting a little bit too big for his britches when it comes to what he thinks he is as a talent. Now, again, he is a world-class talent. But at the same time, some people are saying he's getting a little bit in over his head from the standpoint of how great he thinks he really is with the lack of accomplishments that we see him having in his career. Yes, he unified champ, beats Danny Jonas, great win, has beaten other good fighters before, don't get me wrong. I'm not diminishing him. But again, the waiting game of, hey, when are you going to achieve more? People are asking that question. So people are saying that Boots has been moving in a manner that he feels a little bit entitled, a little bit above the sport in some regards. Now, I did want to get your thoughts and opinions on that matter. But let me see. I watched an old Brian Norman fight. Yesterday and wasn't impressed. And again, it depends on which fight you saw. He is an old school fighter. It's not that he does a bunch of flashy stuff, but he's got the goods to be able to do a lot of the intricate stuff that gets his power and gets his knockouts ability to be put on full display. And again, the man's only 24 years old. And he's already in this position, not just as fighting Devin Haney, but he's also already a world champion. Undefeated. Knocking out pretty good names. Not just good, pretty good names on his resume already. That in the division were seen as, hey, this is a real viable option. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be absolutely thrilled against him. But like, he's not, let me see, against Hispanic, which fight was, against that Hispanic Southpaw. Who was it that he fought? Hispanic Southpaw. Who was it that he fought that was Hispanic? That was a Southpaw. That he beat. I'm trying to think. The name eludes me, but I'm trying to think. Let me see. He good. I just think Haney is better. And I feel you. Like I said, I'm trying to the name's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it when it comes to who you're referring to. But I think I know the fight that you're talking about. And if you feel Haney's a better fighter, that's completely fine. That's okay. That's all well and good. Like I said again, the technique of Haney is something that nobody really questions. As the technical savants of boxing, there ain't many people that are above him. It's either A, Shakur, which, yeah, he's better than Devin Haney. B, Crawford, in a way. Usyk. Couple of names as well, but I don't want to be too long-winded. But it's a short list of people that are around the range or at the range of Devin Haney when it comes to the technical aspect of boxing. I'm not saying Brian Norman is on that level. Be clear. I'm not saying he's on that level from a technical perspective. He doesn't do nearly as much either. But you have to understand. Thank you. Stanley, that's who I was thinking. I knew it. Because we had talked about him on this show. We had talked about him on this very show. We had talked about this particular fight against Stanley on this show. I just couldn't think of it. I couldn't think of it. And again, at that point in time, Stanley was a very big threat at the division. Brian Norman, again, he's 24 now. He was younger when he beat and knocked out Stanley. The fact that he was able to overcome what Stanley was doing to him and then beat him. And then put on a knockout of the year performance against him. That's what made that fight so impressive. And I was like, oh, okay, this buddy got some more stuff in the tank. And since then, he's been improving and developing as a fighter more and more every time out. Like I said, that fight with Jin Sasaki was impressive, not just because of the knockout, but how he got the knockout. What he did to shut down the offense. How he was able to consistently counter and parry most of Jin's attack. And Jin's one of the harder hitting punchers at 147. He is. And that buddy got a great chin to him. He ain't got great defense, but his defense is his offense. And it's not an easy task trying to mitigate that. And he did it. He did it better than I've seen anybody else do it. Impressive to the fullest of his extent. He's got the goods that can knock Devin Haney out. He's got the goods that can render Devin Haney's talent, boxing, but he null and void. Not because he wasn't, what was I thinking? I lost my train of thought. He's got the goods to knock Devin Haney out. Not just because he's strong. Not just because he's quick. Not just because, oh yeah, he's got the power. Not even just because, not even just because of, we think Devin Haney's going to be scared. No. He's got the goods to beat Devin Haney because he has the tools, the intricate tools, that can beat him. He knows how to also fight at distance. He knows as well how to be able to counter shots in the pocket, slipping and blocking while coming forward. He knows how to anticipate and set traps for what an opponent wants to do, especially when it's a situation where they're doing whatever actions they're doing in the ring off of the basis of the fear of getting tagged by Brian Norman. Uses that fuel against him. Uses that fear against him. Uses those tendencies that get done because of the threat of the power against him. And turns it into, okay, you've fallen right into my trap card. For my Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there. He is not just a heavy hitter that his only saving grace is, you got to knock him out to beat him. No. He can hurt you and hurt you in a way that you can't, that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting outboxed and tagged to Kingdom Come. And there's nothing I can do. It doesn't hurt that also Devin Haney can't hurt him. So even if he stays, or I don't believe he can hurt him. So even if he stays with that stick, with that jab, with that range, he's going to get forced to a point where he's going to have to fight on the inside. And he's going to get forced to a point that I guarantee you that jab is going to become null and void. And once that happens, now we're asking, okay, you got to go through something else. What you going to be able to do? It ain't going to be a whole bunch. Further going into the rabbit hole of traps that Brian Norman can set for you once you start becoming aggressive. Just like he did with Jin Sasaki. And Jin was way more dangerous. He was way more cautious against him than he was against the likes of, than he's gonna have to be against the likes of Devin Haney. From the standpoint of, well, I can't make a mistake lest I get put down. So I'm telling you, that fight he's got a good shot at winning. I want him to win. Just like you say, I want him to win. I think he can win. If he beats him, if he beats the world is his. Oh, see, I'm sorry. I thought something had gotten on me. No, it was just a piece of lint. My bad. But no, what I'm saying, with this win, if he does win, well, now the world's his oyster for what he can do. He can fight Ryan Garcia if he wants to. He can force a fight with the likes of Teofimo Lopez if he wants to. If that fight with Shakur and Tio does not come to fruition, he could call out Shakur if he wants to and say, hey, you were going to fight old boy at 147, fight me instead. He wins this fight with Devin Haney. I dare say, don't worry about going and trying. If you're going to unify and become undisputed, go ahead and do it. Absolutely. Or rather, he's already got a belt, so he would unify with the win. If you want to become undisputed, go ahead, go for it. But if you wanted to, you could go out to 154. You could go out to 154, and you could try to fight Boots and get the fight that people feel, hey, Boots may not want that type of smoke. Some people, I'm not saying everybody, some people feel that type of way. And just the whole of 154 and one of the biggest and deepest divisions of boxing, you, with that win, would be one of the biggest names. Hence, you got a lot of power. You can make whatever fight you want, and it would be a hit. Norman versus Virgil Ortiz, hit. Norman versus Boots, a hit. Norman versus Fundora, a hit. Thurman, a hit. All of them. Everybody. It would make sense. It will make sense. That's why I want to see him win. Because I want to see what that road's going to look like. Because that road looks like it could be something incredible. It could really be something incredible. Let me see. Okay, I missed the last 4 rounds, so we knocked him out. Until then, I thought he was losing. Yeah, no. Watch the last 4 rounds. And look at what he's able to do. And look at how he turns the fight around and the way that he builds up to turn that fight around. It's good. It's really good. It's really good. And again, that was what? A year or 2 ago? He was like 22, 23, 22 years old when he did that. And you compare that fight with the fight with Jin Sasaki, you're going to see some growth. You're going to see, okay, yeah, this guy, he's better. He is not what he used to be, thankfully, which is phenomenal, which is incredible. And we can't wait to see him go. Also, real quick, what was I going to talk about? There was one more thing. There was one more thing before I went and got out of here. Boots and then Manny Pacquiao. That's what I want to talk about. Real quick with Boots before we switch gears. With that fight happening, do y'all think that Boots Ennis is giving off an air of arrogance that is somewhat undeserved because of his lack of accomplishment per se throughout his career, going at 154 right now? Do you think so? Again, he had an interview with the likes of Inside the Ring, going through it and talking with Ryan Garcia and all of them on the panel. Some people were saying he gave off an air of brashness, an air of cockiness, not just confidence. An air of I'm better than you and you know what type of situation. Which again, I'm not saying fighters don't do that. I'm not saying everybody who's at that level doesn't do that. To some degree they do. Yeah. But this is concerning from my perspective because of the fact that that same arrogance, that's exactly what made him do what he did against Sugar John, do what he did against David Avanesian. Though he rectified against Stanionis. That was the defense. I'm scared that he brings that same air of brash arrogance. He brings that to the fight with Lima this weekend. Of Yeah, he's not on my level. It's a tune-up fight. Y'all gonna see exactly how good I am. This, that, and the third. Everything's gonna go great. I know it. And I'm not gonna do what I know I should do. Because this man ain't no real threat to me. And when that happens, guess what? That's when mistakes take place. That's when trouble arises. And more so, that's when people want to see you get humble. All of a sudden, further goes into you are becoming the vilified person in boxing. Already he was getting a whole lot of flack from a lot of people for the indecisiveness that he was doing at 147, going into 154. The tune-up talk, everybody's upset with, everybody's mad with, everybody's still concerned. Are you going to fight the biggest names afterwards, or are you going to wait around? Yet again, we don't need you. These already got a target on his back from fans saying, hey, this man's I ain't dealing with this. And now his persona's starting to rub people the wrong way as well. Which, again, you can't please everybody. But, just like I talked about with Devin Haney, the atmosphere of villainy is something that is very easy to make. It's very hard to maintain. Or just when fans just get sick of you. It can come upon you quick. And now everything's getting scrutinized. He's already getting, a lot of pushback just from taking this fight, believe me at all. He struggles, problem. If he wins, problem. Because if he wins in a fashion that ain't incredible, guess what? A lot of stuff that he's talking about when it comes to, I don't watch boxing. I only watch old fights. I ain't see Crawford beat Canelo. All that stuff, even though I think it's genuine. He just doesn't watch the stuff. Maybe so. A lot of fans, they are using anything to try to turn it against Boots. I'm not saying that conspiratorially. I'm saying go look at some of the recent interviews and look at what the people are saying. He's smug. He's cocky. He's brash in a negative light. He thinks he's all that, but he ain't. What has he done? Why is he acting like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread? You'll see comments like that. You'll see viewpoints like that. All of that coming up now. Because again, when fans get frustrated, we get agitated. Any little thing sets us off, and any little thing to bring you down, we're going to find. Right now, walking that tightrope with Boots right now. It's a frustrating thing, but it's the truth. That's why this fight's very important. To shut him up. He's going to need to do something great against an opponent that we know he should be. Not because, it will validate what you are, because we already know what you are. But it will be necessary to get above all of that animosity that's starting to swell up because of, again, angst at your indecisiveness to commit to going and achieving greatness when we thought you should already have it already. That's the issue. But let me keep on reading. What you had to say. Yeah, you got to step up for sure. He does. Like he does. Even a Magimov. A Magimov. If he doesn't, a Magimov would be the best, would be the lowest bar that he could go up against. That would be the lowest bar. I just see not even Tim Tszyu, because how Tim Tszyu got beat by the likes of Bakram and Sebastian Fundor. And Tim Tszyu was a great name. But that ain't going to be the name that people want to see. If he fights him, it'll be bad for Tim Tszyu's health, I guarantee you. Tim Tszyu better not take that fight. Or else he's probably going to have to retire after that. I guarantee you. He better not take that fight. He's going to have to retire. Unless you want to say I ended the career of a second-generation champion in Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu better not take that fight. Better not. But the lowest bar is Magimov. And the highest bar is Fundor. The highest bar is going through and fighting Charlo. The highest, just because Charlo just exists. Well, excuse me, Charlo and maybe Charlo is more so the lowest bar. Maybe. Maybe Charlo's the lowest bar just from name recognition. Let me rephrase that. Charlo might be the lowest bar for Boots from name recognition. Understandable. But as a talent, Maximum's the lowest thing you can go. After that, it's titles galore. You got to do it. It's either now or never. It's either now or never. Let me see. I actually go see fights in New York, and I would go see Boots if he fought a bigger name. You see, he's on the cusp of having everybody wanting to go and watch this man live. You just got to go and make it worth our while. People are tired. Again, people don't want to go the tank route. Just because you're fighting is the only thing that makes it worthwhile for us to see you. We need some substance. And for Boots, that substance was already expected to happen. Now, it is now or never. Or it's do or die from the standpoint of where else can you go? What else can you do? What else do you need to do before you take on the best people available? And it shouldn't be much. It shouldn't be much. It shouldn't be much at all. Let me see. But not for this guy I've never seen. Yeah, exactly. People want a reason to support Boots. People want a reason to get behind this brother. But people also lose faith in trying to wait out on somebody to achieve the pinnacle of excellence that we know that they can have, or at least get close to it. At least get close to it. Standing is phenomenal. You got there, but then you gotta stay there. You gotta stay there. And our concern is, will he stay there after this fight? Now, I will say, if I can, where's it? Where's it? There was a, is it here? Let me see. There was a clip that I did want to make sure I play. In regards to Boots. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Where is it at? Dang it. Hold on. Stay right here. The clip is here. In regards to the Boots, because he said something about this last fight, or this fight with Lima. And it might give you some intrigue to actually tune into this fight. Here we go. Yep, I found it. Tell me some time, but I found it. Here we go. Let me play it for you right here. Make sure I'm actually. Okay, y'all able to see it. All right.
I'm gonna prove to everybody. I'm gonna say this. Just stay tuned for the post-fight interview.
Post-fight interview for
October
October 11th.
Yeah, October 11th.
So it's safe to say you might announce something.
So, brothers acting like, hey, we got something in the works. Oh my. Oh my, indeed. But the question is this going to be the same songiness we've seen before from Tank Davis? The different man, but similar issues. We don't know what's going to happen. And we ain't got a track record that we can rely on when it comes to you. At this point in time for taking fights, he may say, yeah, stay tuned. Get ready. Come the end of October 11th, we're going to have ourselves an announcement. It's going to be big. Somebody's going to get called out, hypothetically, potentially be ready to have one of your dream fights finally happen. I will believe it when I see it. Not to be cynical, not just out of belligerent scrutiny, but because we actively need to see you say something to show us, okay, you about this life of you want to go and shock the world, stake your claim, put your flag in the dirt for everybody to see. Guess what? You got to prove it, and you got to say something to make it happen. You got to. And if you pull a Tank where you were going to fight, you were going to call out a bum. For Tank, it was Jake Paul, who's a bum. But for Ennis, if it's another tune-up, if it's even bringing somebody up from weight, if it's even, hey, we got an announcement, I'm signing with da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, which is cool, but ain't nothing going on. If it's a situation where it's like LeBron, when LeBron pump faked an a retirement announcement for the world, and next thing you know it's a Hennessy ad. Don't let this brother say, hey, I got a new bottle of Ciroc that's got my name on it that you can buy anywhere in stores. Don't let that happen. And all of a sudden, that's what the announcement is. If you're going to do that, if you're going to do that, one, you got to put on a performance that's big. And two, you got to call out. If you're going to tease it like this, the only names that we put in the caliber, if you're going to call them out, you want that smoke. Fundora, Virgil Ortiz. Number one and number two for most people's eyes. For the biggest things that we could see happen. Boa Chuck, you going to call him out after a loss? Adams, you going to call him out? Who beat Boa Chuck? Right now, the standard right now is Virgil or nothing. I'm going to be real. Yeah, we still want to see the rest of them. Bakwa, hey, I'll say this now. He calls out Fundora, great, phenomenal. He calls out Virgil Ortiz, great, phenomenal. I'm going to say this. He called out Bakwa. He called out Bakwa. He calls out Bakwa versus Ali. He gets Bakwa to actually make an answer. And he gets Bakwa to actually show up and come in and defend his belt. And you take it. Hey, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Those three names are what I'm looking for. I'm not going to lie. Those three names are what I'm looking for to call out. Those three names are the very names I'm looking for to see, okay, are you going to push yourself? It's now or never. The deep end tier, are you ready for it? He calls out any of those three, we got ourselves, we're going to be ready. We're going to be ready if he wins. Let me see, Thurman Dogs Boots on interviews. Now, if Thurman beat Fundora and Thurman and Boots got into a fight, yeah, Thurman's dog walking Boots in the interviews. Oh, he's making him look silly. He's making him look silly. It's going to be not just humor. And, excuse me. Got something in my eye. But it ain't going to be just humor. He's going to dog walk when it comes to showing you, okay, but when it comes to big time, I'll make you look like nothing. I had the public turn to get you in a heartbeat. You'll never get a word in. Now, Boots, he again, already perceived to be cocky, perceived to be brash. We can see if we can put that into these interviews if that did happen. But it would get dog. It wouldn't even be funny. It wouldn't even be funny. If anything, remember how Daniel Dubois, after Jarrell Miller, started getting more deliberate in like his trash talk? Yeah, it wasn't witty, but it turned into de facto, hey, brother, who do you think you are? Well, like he said to Anthony Joshua, you ain't nothing to me. Pushing and shoving Usyk, getting upset, letting his emotions show up and be like, yeah, no, I know I'm a bad dude. Embracing the aspect of physicality and outright tank-like nature. Not Tank the fighter, but Tank as in the machine. I'm going to run through you and there ain't nothing you can do about it. That's what Daniel Dubois got in terms of his own arsenal of bravado after facing off against Jarrell Miller. It changed the psyche for the better. He wasn't talking like that before. Now he is. For Boots against Thurman, it could be that type of, it could be a similar type of shifting in the development of a fighter. Because you ain't winning that battle. I don't care how good you think you are not winning that battle of being able to out-talk Keith Thurman. If you ain't somebody that is up there in accolades and or just in your own quick wit. And Boots can get flustered. Boots can psychologically, the fight starts before the ring bell. He can be put on the back burner hypothetically. Now, would he win that fight? Absolutely. But it's going to be interesting if he had to do with some stuff that wouldn't normally go his way. Boots versus Thurman would make a great match. On paper, it would. But I can't say so until I see Thurman versus Fundora. Until I see Thurman versus Fundora, I can't say for certain that fight's going to be a great affair because I'm still off of the ring rust of Jarvis. Again, it was over a year ago. I don't know what he's going to be like going up against a current, active, evolving champion in Sebastian Fundora. If he does take this win, great. He's here. He's back. He's arrived. No problem. Then I can entertain that fight with Boots as, okay, that can be something legitimate. Yeah, that can be something exciting. That can be something real. But until then, right now, I got to wait and see. Got to wait and see. At least for me. Got to wait and see. But let me keep on reading. What y'all got to say? Thurman can talk. Yes, he can. Dude is funny. No question. Yeah, no, he's funny. He's funny. You saw it when he fought against Pacquiao. But I'm saying everything under the sun. It was great. It was phenomenal. He can sell a fight. He knows how to sell, which is why I wish he didn't retire like he did or go on a hiatus like he did for 3 years. Yes, he got married and beautiful family, all that stuff, did what he needed to do. But if he had stayed those 3 years, oh my goodness, what type of star would he have been if he kept on fighting? Very interesting. Let's see, we got to see what Thurman still gonna. We got to see what Thurman still got. I'm pulling for him. If he pulls off this upset against Fundora, it would be one of the craziest things I've seen this year. It would. It absolutely would. And it would show that he ain't lost much of a step at all. Incredible. Phenomenal. I hope it had. Hey, I'm picking Fundora, but hey, look now. Thurman still got power. Thurman might be a little bit rusty, but he still showed he got at least some of the old Thurman left in him in terms of how he fights. He brings that back to a full-blown reality. We got ourselves a good war. Even against the long limbs of Fundora. I can't wait to see it. You think he knocks out Fundora? Ooh, shoot, that's it. You think he pulls a Brian Mendoza? Oh, wait a minute now. You think he pulls a Brian Mendoza and catches his brother with the hook and puts him to sleep? It could happen. He's vulnerable. His defense is not nearly as sound as it should be. But still, is what it is. And seemingly he's been able to take a punch better. And see, but he could also get stopped. And so it's like, and again, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, so I do got to end the show after this question. Because again, I got stuff I got to handle. But still, with this fight with Thurman versus Fundora, understand this very well. The issue is not just the offense of Thurman showing up. It is the better offense of Fundora with what he has garnered on the inside. And by better, I mean more consistent. Less hiccups like we saw with the last time of Keith Thurman, because that's the only time we've seen him back in the ring. It's with Jarvis. The offense of Fundora is a nightmare to deal with. It's a nightmare to deal with. If you don't get cut, you get tagged with the jab. If you don't get tagged with the jab, you get caught with a straight right hand way down the pipe that you can't avoid. If you don't get tagged with that, you get caught with a looping hook as you're coming in. That is quick. And if you don't get tagged with that, guess what? You get tagged with an uppercut that you don't see coming because you're trying to barrel on the inside. And this brother fights the best when he's on the inside. All of a sudden, you're saying, well, at what range can this brother not crack? Even Lubin, when he knocked him down, when Lubin knocked the likes of Fundora down. Notice what happened when he lost. The overwhelming offense just became too much for him to bear. He got broken down quick. Lubin got broke down quick. It was quick and it was sudden from the standpoint of when stuff started taking effect, it took effect quick, fast, and in a hurry. Oh, yes, it did. And that, Thurman knew how to deal with that. Fundora got power that can change and make up a fight in a heartbeat. But if he can mitigate himself through that, man, he's going to be a problem. If he can mitigate himself through that avenue a very much stifling offense that Fundora brings to the table. Not just the length, but it's the offense as a whole. Thurman could be a problem for Fundora. Yes, he can. So I'm excited to see it. Let me see. Let me keep on reading. Fundora been down a couple times. Yes, he has. Fundora is a problem at 154. No question about it. That's look. He made me a believer because I was saying he wasn't anything special. Next thing you know, he got me saying, "Hey, brother, it's gonna be tough for anybody to beat this cat. It's gonna be hard, even like the Virgil Ortiz. It will be tough for him to win." No, there's almost no champion or contender I can see that Fundora would not give major trouble to. You can say he's not the best. That's fine. Ain't nobody in the division gonna not have to work against this cat. Cause there ain't gonna be he is not the weakest champion in the division now. No, I can't say that no more. He is something serious. Who has more power, Lubin or Thurman? That's a good question. Shoot. That's a good question. At 154, that's a good question. Dang. I gotta think about that. Shoot. Who got more power, Lubin or Thurman at 154? Because because of how few times I've seen Thurman at 154, except for only once, I'm gonna say Lubin. More well adept at being a puncher at 154. Because again, 27-2, 19 KOs on his career. Man he can crack. Really crack. Brother posted what was it? Boxrec says he's got a 70% knockout ratio. I would think that he's got more power at this division. Thurman, however, is a better offensive fighter. And he does have some heavy hands in his own regard. You gotta understand, again, yes, he knocked down Jarvis. I don't hold that. That win is impressive for the first iteration of Thurman at this division. But I'm not saying that win is the end all be all to show that, yeah, he is indeed everything that we know him as at 154. That's just not the case. But 31 and what was it? 33 and 2? What is he? 33 and 2? 33 and 1? Over 20 KOs as well? He got some heavy hands in his own right. Definitely does. Crazy enough, I think those numbers actually equate to a higher knockout ratio. But even still, at this division, I'm gonna say Lubin. But who's got a better offense? I'm gonna say Thurman. Lubin might have more power at 154, but Thurman's got better offense at 154. And that offense, coupled with the respectable power that, again, has shown it can at least carry up to a certain degree when he knocked out Jarvis. And again, Jarvis is not a top-tier contending fighter. So we're not going to say he's can all of a sudden, he's one of the hardest hitters at 154. But we can at least say he's got something there that you got to worry about, at minimum. But that, coupled with the offense of the likes of Keith Thurman, that's what puts him over the top as a dangerous contender. It is just the sentiment of age and ring rust that's the biggest concern. Once that gets answered, especially in the deep end of the pool like this against Fundora, we're gonna really understand what this is really about. It's gonna be interesting, man. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for that fight to happen. It's gonna be good. But let me see. What happened to Errol Spence versus Fundora? That fight fell through. Sadly, that fight was gonna happen. It was gonna take place. It was gonna transpire. However, talks just went out the way. It was hyped up. They stepped in the ring. I think Turkey, Fundora, and Spence all were in the ring at the same time, staring each other down. And we're thinking, okay, he's going to fight now. But, like I said, the waiting game for Spence's return still lingers. Looking like he could fight Charlo, but we don't know. He is actively training. He is in the ring from the standpoint of in the gym. Though he just posted a bunch of stuff that he's on vacation. So we don't know where he's at right now. We want to say he's back. We want to say he's getting ready. He hasn't said that he's not fighting. He's still giving off vibes to the public that, hey, yo, don't say that I ain't fighting yet. I'm still going to be in the ring. But we got to wait and see because right now it's a very much up in the air situation. Very much up in the air. And we won't know up until we know. Up until we know, we won't know, which is a shame. It's an outright shame, but that's the nature of the beast right now. So that's why that fight with Thurman and with Spence and Fundora isn't happening. And while Thurman and Fundora is. So maybe he gets the winner. Maybe he gets the winner. Maybe he does indeed retire. All we can do is just wait and see. Literally all we can do is just wait and see, which is a shame. But we gotta let him do what he does. And then whenever something comes up, we'll be able to discuss it. But again, with all that being said, I think we're going to wrap this up and send this home. I got some stuff I got to take care of, and I got to get ready for the entire week. Because, again, I'm not going to be here Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. So we're doing this to cover the bases as of right now. So with all that being said, this has been another episode of The Watchman with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this surprise emergency episode edition of The Watch Report. Like I said, we had to do this because we weren't going to be here for the rest of the week. So emergency, we're going to do a show now to make it sure that we give you the fervent talk that you deserve. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Like I said, everything was working up until it wasn't. But we got it back, and thank you for sticking with me all this time. We're going to be back next week covering the world of boxing and beyond. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like on the stream, comment thoughts and opinions, subscribe to the channel, and share the show with everybody you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. If you would like to support the channel, hey, put some money in my pocket. Give me some splurging dough to end off the week, or at least to start off the middle of my week. We got Cash App, we got PayPal, we got links down below in the description. If you would like to support, it would mean the world to me. Whatever you can give would help me out so much, would help invest back into the show, and hey, helps us to make this show bigger and better. It's how I make a living, and so it's the best way to make for me to keep on paying bills. Absolutely. And we're funded by viewers like you. So if you can help support the channel while we're waiting on monetization, Cash App and PayPal are the best ways to make it happen. Links down below. Copy it, put it in the URL or in their search bar, and then it'll take you directly to things if you want to give. Would mean the world to me, and it will help us out so much. So I do appreciate it. But again, I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Yo, whoa, before we do, hold on, wait. We gotta do the pound for pound list. Number 3 on the pound for pound, crazy enough, was in this case scenario. It was who was it? Hold on, it's loading up right now. Number 3 pound for pound was for this show. Is it right? Is it wrong? No, it's right. Number 3 pound for pound, we got Mike Huncho. No, I'm sorry. I read him wrong. We got Welch 6237. Which I don't know how that works out because he was there but only commented once earlier in the show. Ain't come back since. But still. Well, I think actually, no, y'all are tied, actually. We'll call it a tie for third between Mike Huncho and Welch 637. And then you got Deborah Bunkles in or Justin behind at number 2. And then Love King at number 1 for our pound for pound best commenter in the world on today's episode. We appreciate you coming through. We appreciate you tuning in. And again, we're going to be back next week covering the world of boxing and beyond. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for spending time with me. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. And hey, we're going to be back next week for everything involving boxing and beyond. And we thank you so much. What was it? Oh, yeah, I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. We are out of here. Yes, sir. We're going to see you all next week. Be safe. Be blessed. Get ready for Boots versus Lima this weekend. And we are out of here. We gone.